My sister announced her pregnancy with my husband, at my birthday dinner, expecting me to collapse. Instead, I raised a toast. I revealed the results of the fertility test he took last month, and suddenly, everyone knew. Chapter 1. The birthday surprise. The restaurant glowed with warm lights and clinking glasses. My family had gathered to celebrate my birthday, and for a brief moment, I allowed myself to believe it would be a night of love, not cruelty. But then my sister stood. Her hands trembled with excitement as she clinked her glass. My husband stood beside her, smiling like a man who thought he'd just won a game he didn't deserve to play. "I have an announcement," she said, her voice trembling with fake innocence. "I'm pregnant, and the father is." Her eyes slid toward my husband, who placed a proud hand on her shoulder. Gasps erupted around the table. Forks clattered to plates. My mother covered her mouth. My father swore under his breath, and every single pair of eyes darted to me. They waited for me to collapse, to scream, to cry, but I didn't. I lifted my champagne flute, calm as ice. "Congratulations," I said softly. "But before we toast, I'd like to share something too." Their smug smiles faltered, because I wasn't broken. I was ready. Chapter 2. The fertility test revealed. The silence around the table was thick, like a storm waiting to break. My sister leaned into my husband's side, her smile growing wider, convinced she had delivered the ultimate blow. I set my glass down carefully, my hand steady, my eyes locked on theirs. "That's wonderful news," I said smoothly. "But since tonight is about surprises, I brought one too." From my purse I pulled out a slim white envelope. I slid it across the table until it rested right in front of my husband. His smile wavered as he recognized the hospital letterhead. "You remember last month," I said evenly, "when you went for that fertility test? The one you told me was just routine." Gasps rippled across the table. My sister stiffened, her hand tightening around her wine glass. "Go on," I urged him, my voice sharp now. "Open it." He didn't move, his face had gone pale. So I leaned forward, tore it open myself, and read aloud, every word ringing in the silent room. Test results. 0 motile sperm detected. Diagnosis: infertility. The words hung in the air like thunder. My husband's face collapsed, my sister's mouth dropped open, her hand instinctively covering her stomach. Around the table, relatives shifted uncomfortably, shock written on their faces. Finally, I raised my glass again, my eyes locked on the two of them. "So, congratulations sis, but you might want to figure out who the real father is." The table erupted in whispers. My sister's diamond ring, the one she had flashed at me moments earlier, now glistened with humiliation instead of triumph, and for the first time all night, I was the one smiling. Chapter 3. The aftermath at the dinner. The room erupted like a bomb had gone off. My aunt gasped so loudly her glass tipped over, spilling red wine across the white tablecloth. My cousin muttered something under her breath, and even my usually stoic father pushed back from the table, his chair scraping hard against the floor. All eyes were on my sister and my husband. My sister's lips trembled as she stammered, "That's not true, he must have taken the test wrong." But the envelope sat there like a loaded gun, the official letterhead impossible to deny. My husband's face burned crimson, he tried to speak but no words came. The weight of the truth pressed down on him, silencing his arrogance for the first time in years. My mother's sharp voice cut through the chaos. "You mean to tell us," she glared at my sister, "that you announced a pregnancy at your own sister's birthday dinner and it isn't even his child?" The shame was unbearable. My sister covered her face with her hands, her diamond ring flashing like a cruel reminder of her betrayal, and then my uncle, always blunt, let the words fall like a hammer. "So, who is the father, or are there several candidates?" The table went dead silent, my husband shoved his chair back and stormed toward the door, muttering, "I can't do this." My sister followed, tears streaking her makeup, but no one moved to comfort her, not one family member stood by her side. They had come expecting to humiliate me, instead they left in disgrace. I stood, glass still in hand, and looked around the room. The stunned faces of my family slowly turned toward me, waiting to see if I would collapse under the weight of betrayal. Instead, I raised my glass again. "To family," I said calmly. "To the ones who stand by you, and to the ones who show their true colors." The clink of a few hesitant glasses echoed back, but I could see it in their eyes. The respect they had never given me before was finally there. Because I hadn't just survived humiliation, I had turned it into their downfall. Chapter 4. The fallout. the lie unraveled faster than my sister ever expected. 2 weeks after that disastrous dinner, whispers spread like wildfire. Our relatives had told friends, and friends told neighbors. Soon, the story of the pregnant sister and the wrong husband was on everyone's lips. It didn't take long for the truth to surface. A coworker of hers, emboldened by gossip, finally admitted what many suspected. My sister had been secretly involved with a married manager from her office. Texts leaked. Photos circulated. Suddenly, her perfect family image was in ashes. Her fiancé, my husband, didn't take it well. He denied, deflected, but when the evidence stacked up, he packed his bags and vanished. His company soon learned about the scandal too, and with his reputation in tatters, he was demoted. The man who once strutted around our family table could barely look anyone in the eye. My sister, meanwhile, tried to spin the story, saying I had faked the test, that it was all some jealous revenge, but the truth was undeniable. The fertility clinic confirmed the documents. The man she'd been seeing admitted everything when confronted by his wife, and his wife dragged him through a messy divorce that splattered mud on everyone involved. No one came to her baby shower. No one wanted to be seen near her. She became the scandal she thought she'd used to destroy me. Through it all, I didn't gloat. I didn't even speak. My silence was louder than any speech. But the community noticed. People who once looked down on me began offering quiet nods of respect. I had faced betrayal head-on and emerged stronger, while my sister and ex drowned in the wreckage of their own arrogance. One evening, I walked past the old family restaurant. There she was, sitting alone with her swollen belly, staring blankly at the floor as whispers circled the room. I caught her eye for just a second, then kept walking, because she already knew. The toast I had raised on my birthday wasn't just a moment, it was prophecy. Chapter 5. The aftermath. The silence that followed my toast still echoed in my ears, even days later. At first, I thought the fallout would happen quietly, behind closed doors. I underestimated just how much chaos the truth would unleash. Her pregnancy announcement, meant to humiliate me, became her curse. Once the fertility test revealed my husband's infertility, the questions began. If not him, then who? Relatives whispered. Friends texted. Even our parents demanded answers she couldn't give. Within a week, her smug smile had vanished, replaced with trembling hands and tearful denials. But lies have a short shelf life, and hers expired the moment the other man, her real lover, was exposed. He didn't escape either. The fertility test I had revealed was one he had begged me to keep private, ashamed of the result. Now it was dinner table knowledge. His pride shattered. Worse, he couldn't hide behind his usual charm. Everyone knew he hadn't just betrayed me, he'd betrayed himself. Friends stopped answering his calls. Business partners quietly stepped back. His confidence, once untouchable, drained away until he was just a shell of the men who strutted into the dinner, thinking he could control the room. Meanwhile, something shifted for me. The same relatives who once dismissed me, the same friends who smiled politely while tolerating me, suddenly looked at me differently, with respect, with quiet admiration. They realized I hadn't been blindsided. I had been prepared. I hadn't collapsed under betrayal. I had risen above it, calm and sharp, cutting them down with nothing but truth. Epilogue. Justice served. A year later, my sister was raising a child alone. Her lover had abandoned her, my husband had divorced her, and the mansion she once flaunted had been sold to cover debts. My husband. Bankrupt in spirit and in business. And me. I rebuilt my life on my terms. A new job, a new circle of friends, and eventually, a new love. One built not on lies, but on mutual respect. When people in town whispered now, they weren't whispering about me. They were whispering about them. The lesson. Sometimes the most powerful revenge isn't a scream or a slap or a dramatic exit. It's one quiet toast, with truth as the wine and betrayal as the hangover they'll never recover from. Was this revenge perfectly justified? Or should the storm have raged harder? Drop your verdict below. I read every single one. Hit like if you crave justice and share this story with someone who needs its fire.